Did you know that being around positive, loving people can actually make you live longer? Studies show that spending time with supportive, caring people can boost your immune system, reduce stress, and even increase your life expectancy by up to 50%. That's right, love and kindness can literally add years to your life. But how do you spot these loveliest people? It's not always obvious. They aren't the loudest or the most outgoing, but they have a secret power that draws people in. They make you feel seen, heard, and truly valued. In this video, we're going to uncover the hidden signs that reveal the loveliest people around you. You'll learn how their kindness, emotional intelligence, and authenticity make them magnetic, and how you can recognize these qualities in others. In the next chapters, we'll show you how to identify these lovely souls, how they handle conflict, and why their energy can change your life. Ready to find out who they are and how to connect with them? Keep watching. Chapter 1: The Aura of Kindness, Unmasking the True Charmer. When you think about the loveliest people, what comes to mind? Chances are, you're picturing someone who exudes kindness, right? It's more than just a smile, it's a feeling, an aura. The loveliest people have a natural ability to make others feel heard, seen, and valued. They don't just do kind things, they live kindness in every interaction. Did you know that simple acts of kindness can boost serotonin, the feel-good hormone, in both the giver and receiver? Studies have shown that kindness literally changes the brain chemistry, making you feel happier. So, how do you spot someone with this aura of kindness? Pay attention to how they treat people in everyday situations. The loveliest people aren't just kind to their friends and family, they extend the same respect to waiters, cashiers, and strangers. This shows true character. It's about how they make you feel when you're around them, not what they say. Research from the University of California found that people who are generous with their time are perceived as more attractive, both physically and emotionally. It's important to note that kindness doesn't mean being a pushover. The loveliest people know when to set boundaries. They won't allow themselves to be mistreated, but they'll still respond with empathy and respect. This ability to balance kindness with self-respect is key to building lasting, meaningful connections. People who are genuinely kind don't expect something in return, they're simply motivated by a desire to make the world better, one small gesture at a time. When you encounter someone like this, you'll feel the difference. You'll feel lighter, happier, and more connected. In a world that often feels disconnected and divided, these people are like magnets for love and positivity. Their kindness isn't just about being nice, it's about making the world a little better with every interaction. Chapter 2: Heartbeats Over Headaches, Navigating Conflict with Grace. Conflict is inevitable in every relationship, but how someone handles it can make all the difference. The loveliest people have an incredible ability to navigate even the toughest situations with grace. They don't avoid conflict, but they handle it in a way that fosters understanding rather than creating division. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to calm the room, even during a heated conversation? That's the power of emotional intelligence. A study by the American Psychological Association found that couples with higher emotional intelligence tend to have longer-lasting relationships. The ability to manage emotions and respond with empathy is a huge factor in maintaining harmony. The loveliest people don't argue to win, they argue to understand. Their focus is on the person, not the problem. Instead of pointing fingers, they ask, how can we resolve this together? They listen actively, without interrupting or judging. In fact, listening is one of the most powerful tools in conflict resolution. According to author Stephen Covey, most people do not listen with the intent to understand, they listen with the intent to reply. The loveliest people listen to understand. When you're truly heard, it's easier to find common ground and move forward. What's more, they practice forgiveness, not just for others, but for themselves too. Holding on to grudges or past mistakes only weighs you down. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology found that forgiveness leads to lower levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. It's about releasing negativity so that peace can fill the space instead. In relationships, grace isn't about avoiding conflict, it's about facing it with a calm heart, an open mind, and a willingness to grow. The loveliest people don't just weather the storm, they help others navigate it with them. Chapter 3: Vibrational Match, How your energy aligns with the loveliest. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt a sense of peace? That's the energy of the loveliest people at work. They have a unique ability to align their own energy with the needs of the moment. This isn't just a good vibe, it's a science-backed phenomenon called emotional contagion. According to a study in the journal Psychological Science, emotions are contagious. When someone around us is happy, we're more likely to feel happy too. The loveliest people are experts at raising the energy of those around them. They can light up a room not because they are loud or attention-seeking, but because their positive energy is so magnetic. They've learned to cultivate emotional resilience, which means they stay grounded in positive energy, even during tough times. People naturally want to be around them because they create an environment where it's easy to feel good. But energy isn't just about being happy all the time. The loveliest people know how to honor their own feelings, even the difficult ones. It's not about suppressing negativity, but rather about acknowledging it and then choosing to rise above it. This emotional self-awareness is a key factor in attracting positive energy from others. What's fascinating is that people who are in tune with their emotions and energy are also better at spotting when others need support. Their ability to pick up on emotional cues makes them excellent friends, partners, and confidants. In fact, a study by the University of California found that individuals with higher emotional intelligence tend to have deeper and more fulfilling relationships. If you want to attract more positive energy into your life, it's important to be mindful of your own vibration. Start by surrounding yourself with people who radiate positivity, and notice how it shifts your own mindset. The loveliest people don't just elevate themselves, they elevate the world around them. If you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated on more tips for building meaningful relationships. Chapter 4: Unconditional Love, but with boundaries. Why balance is key. One of the most powerful traits of the loveliest people is their ability to love unconditionally while still setting healthy boundaries. This might sound like a paradox, but it's not. The loveliest people know that to give love freely, they must also protect their energy and well-being. Without boundaries, love can become draining, even toxic. In relationships, whether personal or professional, setting limits is essential for both parties to thrive. According to Dr. Henry Cloud, author of Boundaries, When to Say Yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life, boundaries are a form of self-care. They allow us to maintain respect and dignity in relationships, and they ensure that we aren't overwhelmed by other people's needs. The loveliest people understand this balance. They give freely, but they also know when to say no without guilt. The trick to unconditional love is compassion without self-sacrifice. You can love someone deeply without losing yourself. The loveliest people don't try to fix others, but they support and encourage growth. Research from the University of California shows that people with strong emotional boundaries are less likely to experience burnout, depression, and stress in their relationships. Setting boundaries also means being honest with yourself and others. The loveliest people communicate their needs clearly, whether it's asking for time alone or expressing discomfort with a certain behavior. This doesn't mean they're selfish, it means they're taking responsibility for their own happiness and emotional health. Interestingly, when you set healthy boundaries, you also teach others how to respect you. It's not about putting up walls, it's about creating a safe space for both people to feel valued and heard. Boundaries allow love to grow freely, without becoming stifling or resentful. The loveliest people are masters at balancing this delicate dance. Chapter 5: Generosity of Spirit. More than just material giving, generosity is often seen as giving money or gifts, but the loveliest people know that generosity of spirit is about so much more. It's about giving time, energy, and care. The loveliest people are generous with their presence, they make people feel important, seen, and appreciated. Research shows that spending time with someone can create a deeper connection than any material gift could. In fact, a study conducted by the University of Michigan found that people who volunteered their time reported higher levels of happiness and well-being. Generosity isn't about what you give, it's about how you make others feel. The loveliest people show up when they are needed, whether it's for a friend going through a tough time or just to celebrate a small victory. They are also generous with their emotional support. The loveliest people know how to hold space for others, letting them feel heard without judgment. Emotional generosity fosters trust and deepens relationships. Research from Harvard University reveals that people who engage in active listening and empathetic support are seen as more trustworthy and likable. Moreover, generosity doesn't just impact the recipient, it benefits the giver too. Studies have shown that acts of kindness trigger the brain's reward system, releasing feel-good chemicals like oxytocin. The more the loveliest people give, the more they receive, not just from others, but from within themselves. The joy of making someone's day better is a reward that keeps on giving. Generosity is also about sharing wisdom and knowledge. The loveliest people don't hoard their experiences or lessons, they share them with others to help them grow. This creates a ripple effect of positivity and growth. The loveliest people lead by example, showing others that happiness and fulfillment come from the heart, not from things. Chapter 6: Authentic and Unapologetic. The beauty of being real. Being authentic isn't always easy, but it's one of the most powerful traits of the loveliest people. They are unapologetically themselves. They don't try to fit into others' expectations or wear masks to please people. Instead, they embrace their true selves, quirks and all. This authenticity is magnetic, it attracts people who appreciate them for who they truly are. According to Brené Brown, author of The Gifts of Imperfection, authenticity is the key to wholehearted living. People who are authentic are able to form deeper, more meaningful connections because they're showing up as their real selves, not a version they think others will like. And this authenticity isn't about being perfect, it's about being comfortable with your flaws and imperfections. Research from the University of California has shown that when people are authentic, their relationships tend to be more satisfying. Authenticity builds trust, which is the foundation of any successful relationship. When you're real, people can see your heart, and they trust that you're being genuine. Authentic people don't hide their mistakes, they own them. The loveliest people are quick to apologize when they've hurt someone, and they take responsibility for their actions. This vulnerability fosters deeper connections because it shows humility and openness. Acknowledging your mistakes also makes it easier for others to forgive and move forward. Interestingly, being authentic can also boost your mental and emotional health. A study from the University of Toronto found that people who express their true selves experience lower levels of anxiety and depression. The less we hide who we are, the less we have to stress about keeping up appearances. The loveliest people understand that authenticity isn't just about being real with others, it's about being real with yourself. They've done the inner work to understand who they are, what they value, and what they need. This self-awareness allows them to live their truth without fear of judgment. At the end of the day, authenticity is about living in alignment with your values and beliefs. The loveliest people are the ones who aren't afraid to show their true selves, even if it means standing out. They are real, raw, and unapologetically human. And it's this authenticity that makes them so irresistibly lovable. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video.